The road to the final is now known. And what are you feeling here, Pedro? Starting here with the PSG Liverpool, that is a blockbuster game of offensive football.
Yeah, Alex, in my opinion, the Champions League winner this year is going to come out from that fixture. I truly believe so. I think PSG is finally hinting us that they're a true team. What they lacked in the last years, they didn't show us. Now they're starting to get the acquisitions right. Kvisha Kvaratskhelia was a huge improvement to the team. An amazing acquisition, and we see his spark reignite. The spark he lost the last season at Napoli. He's starting to be the same player he got used to 2 seasons ago.
In terms of salaries, amongst the top salaries of Napoli last season, Kvisha was 16th. 16th, arguably the best player next to Osimhen and Min Jae Kim to win the Serie A at the time, and he's the 16th most well paid. Obviously, he would want to leave, right? And Kvisha now playing at the false nine, it fits, right, Pedro?
Yeah, man. And we talk a lot about Barca's front three, but I really like to give a shout out to PSG's front three. Very young, a lot of potential there. Barcola, Desiré Doué, even you can put Gonçalo Ramos as well in there.
I agree.
Kvisha Kvaratskhelia. I mean, it's full of talent. It's a menace in the attack. And even their midfield, man. With Vitinha bossing it around, man, PSG has got the goods. And in my opinion, the winner of the Champions League is going to come out from this fixture between Liverpool and PSG.
That's amazing what you're saying. And for Mo Salah too, if Mo Salah is winning the Ballon d'Or, it's mandatory beating PSG. But the offensive power, like you mentioned, Dembele, that has 23 goals this season, 22 non-penalty goals, Barcola, Desiré Doué, that is one of my favorite dribblers to watch, Kvisha and Gonçalo Ramos, both to play striker. The recruitment of PSG was insane. And who does it? Luis Campos, the sporting director that was at Lille when Lille had so much success with Leonardo Jardim, Mbappe, Bernardo Silva, Lemar. PSG's success is because of Luis Campos too, and the recruitment this season, to back what you're saying, Pedro, João Neves, William Pacho, Safanov, Kvisha Kvaratskhelia, and Desiré Doué. Who did they get wrong? No players. Safanov is a great replacement for Donnarumma, and as I said, people often say Rodrigo, one of the most underrated players in football. Desiré Doué, for me, is also one of the most underrated wingers in football too, Pedro.
But it's funny, Alex, because PSG in the past, they were like trying so hard to win the Champions League, just trying to keep their stars and managing to buy new ones. It seems that as soon as they stop to put in the effort,
exactly,
it's where they actually have a chance to get it, you know?
Exactly.
And even the acquisitions that were made last year, Gonçalo Ramos, that might not have had the best season. He was also injured.
He's still
for a while.
adapting, and he got his sickness, yes.
But now you can see him flourish again and to step up at levels that we saw at Benfica back in the day.
True.
I'm really excited to see this PSG team and to watch this fixture against Liverpool. And man, 10-0 against Brest in the
aggregate,
2x.
yes.
Come on, it's astonishing considering that Brest finished above PSG in the league phase.
Brest was one of the fairy tale stories of the Champions League that is fantastic to see in this new format. But obviously, once they get the team that in Ligue 1 hasn't lost one match this season because of there's no more big stars. And Dembele, I have here, Dembele last season had 6 goals, 12 assists. He was sharing the throne with Mbappe, but now he feels that responsibility and he has 23 goals and 5 assists. Dembele is arguably one of the best players in 2025, and I'll say Vitinha is a top 3 midfielder in football currently for the form that he's in. I only put Jude Bellingham and Pedri ahead of him.
I'm not shocked, Alex. In my belief, Vitinha is currently the best Portuguese midfielder.
Oh, yes, no doubt.
I think he's ahead of Bruno. As well, Bruno, we know that about the context. It's not easy
We'll talk more about Bruno,
but
yes.
but in my opinion, Vitinha at the moment is way ahead of anyone.
And I believe, I'm going to go bold, I'm going to say it, even I think PSG are going to go through against Liverpool. This firepower at the offensive, the midfield that you said, João Neves and Vitinha, is going extremely bold. I'm leaning towards PSG, that I really believe are a contender to win the Champions League. But Mo Salah and Liverpool, I believe right now, top contenders to win the Premier League, no doubt in my mind. He's going to be the top goal scorer of the Prem, top assister of the Prem, PFA Player of the Year. He's going to end his legacy of Liverpool as one of the best right wingers, if not the best right winger we can see in Premier League history.
It's a pressure test for Mo Salah this year. I mean, he can cement himself as arguably one of the best players in Liverpool's history.
Exactly.
For sure. And I was talking about a friend about that the other day. Salah has more legacy than Cristiano Ronaldo in the Premier
In
League.
the Premier League, yes. But in terms of peak, I prefer
Yeah,
Cristiano
me too. I
Ronaldo
think
because he's the
Prime
Ballon d'Or
Ronaldo
winner.
was better than Mo Salah. But in my opinion, Mo Salah is more of a Premier League legend than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Consistency.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from.
And if the only thing that you can argue is, man, but Ronaldo in the same year won the FA Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League. But if Liverpool manages to win the Premier League and the Champions League this year, man,
and to
it's a
back
statement.
Ronaldo
It's a statement
here,
for
it's
Mo
true.
Salah.
It's
It's a
true. I
statement.
don't think it's going to happen with the Champions League, though.
Yeah.
But the Premier League is completely realistic. And to say, obviously, the best version of Mo Salah wasn't at Chelsea, wasn't at Roma, it was at Liverpool. Cristiano Ronaldo's best version wasn't at Man United, it was at Real Madrid. And arguably, we can say at Juventus, he was better than he was at Man United too. So I understand that statement about saying Mo Salah is a better legend in the Premier League than Cristiano Ronaldo with the right wing. So, very, very interesting. And Van Dijk too. This could be the last season of Virgil van Dijk too. So, a priority for Liverpool is a centre-back this summer.
Yeah.
And Sporting has two, Diomande,
believe that-
Inacio. But Dean Huijsen, for me, is the best choice possible.
Next year,
Beast at
I
Bournemouth.
believe that Arne Slot is going to refurbish this Liverpool squad.
Complete. The offensive,
Yeah.
the centre-backs.
Salah's going to leave. Van Dijk's going to leave.
Darwin might leave.
Yeah, he's been going through a rough patch lately. Yeah, I know. But yeah, he's not been getting very
It's
well
true.
along with Arne Slot.
It's been difficult, Pedro. So we both go with PSG against Liverpool.
Yeah, I would go PSG. Yeah.
And here, Club Brugge, Aston Villa, Club Brugge, a team that shocked many people by beating Atalanta. They've got Zolic that we know. We saw him at PAOK with Abel Freire. Eliminating Benfica back in the day. Now Zolic is at Club Brugge in the right place. Ferran Jutkla, La Masia
Jutkla,
player.
yeah.
Maxime de Kuyper, one of the best left backs outside of the top 5 leagues. Could we see Club Brugge surprising everyone and beating
Simon
Aston
Mignolet
Villa?
as well, and the goal.
True.
Another player reborn from the ashes after leaving Liverpool.
It's true. Like Schmeichel at Celtic
Yeah,
that
Alex,
left Leicester.
pay attention because this is not the first time this matchup happens. Aston Villa and Club Brugge, they battled each other in the league phase, and Club Brugge actually won that match, I believe, against Aston Villa. So be aware of Club Brugge because they're doing a wonderful season. Beating Atalanta is not easy, especially in Bergamo.
True.
Which was an astonishing result. Man, and Atalanta is a team that...
But they're getting in poor form, though, late recently.
In my
That
opinion,
Lookman speculation.
in the last 5 years, Atalanta has been the most consistent Italian team, in my
Inter.
opinion. In my opinion, as consistency
But
level.
Gasperini, wonderful job for what
Gasperini
he's done.
is the best Italian manager at the moment, in my opinion.
I go Inzaghi.
No,
Or
forget
Conte, mate.
For what Gasperini done with Atalanta, picking them up as a mid-table team and putting them consistently top four, Champions League, Europa League,
names, Thiago Motta,
Europa League winners,
True.
League winners, Atalanta.
And
even if you go-
Ancelotti, mate. And Ancelotti, too.
If you go to Bergamo, Alex, it's giving a new life to the town. You know, it's a club that the fans are so passionate about, Atalanta. And you go there, you see the old stadium. It was a super small stadium now being built all around the modern one, and it's completely full, completely stacked.
It's fantastic.
That's
It's
what
fantastic.
Gasperini done to Atalanta,
True.
and it's very hard. I was really surprised to see Club Brugge beat Atalanta in the two matches.
True.
2-1 and 3-1.
Confidently.
So I have
like
my
what you're
hopes
saying.
for Club Brugge. As you said, they have a good squad. I don't believe they have enough squad depth to be competitive for so long in the Champions League. So I believe that some tiredness is going to start to show.
So we believe it's going to be a PSG Aston Villa.
I'm going to go Aston Villa.
Unai
I'm going to
Emery,
go Aston Villa.
knockout stages. He's a specialist in winning Europa League, but now with Aston Villa, naturally so, they're a Champions League team.
Man,
it's a big statement.
And just take a look at the winter market that Aston Villa done.
True.
You have Asensio, you have Marcus Rashford up front. Man, it's a crazy team.
True.
I mean, I think they're even better off than
Andres
with-
Garcia, that Sporting wanted too.
Yeah, true. The right back, he's I think he's
And
gonna be a
Daniel
baller.
Malen, Daniel Malen
He's
also
a young
signed.
baller.
True.
Man, their attack is amazing. It's a menace, and I truly believe they are better off after selling John
So
Duran.
PSG, Aston Villa. Could Marcus Rashford do what he did with Man United against PSG? I obviously think this is going to be an easy fixture too for PSG, even though they're facing a manager that coached their team in the past, Unai Emery. But interesting enough this bit.
Yeah, as you said, man, I'm gonna go PSG all the way. So if they
we'll
manage
talk
to
more.
be Liverpool,
Let's see here the next one, because this is a Madrid derby. What a game some insane games in this Champions League fixture. In terms of entertainment, having a Real Madrid Atleti, a Leverkusen Bayern Munich, PSG Liverpool, this is so interesting and I'm loving it. And even a Benfica Barcelona, when Benfica Barcelona was the best game in the league fixture too, in my opinion. It was mad entertaining in my birthday.
Yeah,
day.
true.
That was insane.
That's true.
But going to Real Madrid Atletico, what are we feeling here, Pedro? Because Atletico de Madrid, they get overlooked a lot, in my opinion.
They are, and they are in the title champion, in the title fight this
Exactly.
year. So
La Liga is back.
Yeah, you cannot write off Atleti, especially. Since Simeone is there, I mean, they're always competitive in the Champions League.
True.
Even if they're not doing
They've
so
never
well.
won it, though.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
they've gone
Two finals. They were 1 minute away from winning.
In Lisbon.
Yeah, Sergio Ramos just smashed their dreams, man. Shattered their dreams. But I believe we had a Madrid derby 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yes.
It was a draw.
Julian Alvarez goal.
Yeah, and Mbappe as well. I believe that Real Madrid will want to show that Champions League pedigree, and I'm not seeing Real Madrid bottle this fixture.
To beat Man City, that was a statement.
But then
even
again,
though City's still not
if
in
there
the
is a
best.
manager who knows Real Madrid well, is Diego Simeone.
Ooh.
And for sure he has. I believe that Diego Simeone is very similar to a manager we had here in Portugal, which is Sérgio Conceição.
Ah, yes.
Which is
Ruthless.
in the big matches, he always steps up.
True.
He's a tactical genius.
Even though AC Milan went out with Feyenoord.
You can argue. It's not beautiful football. They park the bus. They play dirty. Okay, but they get the results.
And going with what you said, Pedro, Atletico de Madrid in the top 5 leagues, they have the best defense. Only 16 goals conceded. Then we have Getafe, bold in second with 18 goals conceded. 19 goals Bayern Munich and Napoli, and PSG 20. So Atletico de Madrid, as you mentioned, they have the best defense in the top 5 leagues.
Diego Simeone truly knows how to build a fortress, and that's going to be the problem for Real Madrid. But then again, without front three man, I don't see Real Madrid bottling
Front
this
three
one.
and Jude Bellingham behind them. But again, there's another player, and I know we're gonna talk about Real Madrid shortly. But I just wanted to say the Julian Alvarez signing was necessary, and it's going well. He is very overhated by fans. Yes, he cost 95 million, which is worth the price completely, in my opinion, because he's a Simeone style player, Argentinian young striker that wants to be considered the best player in his team. And Griezmann, this is his last season. It's the last season of Antoine Griezmann at Atletico de Madrid, 33 years old. But even though he's the last season, 15 goals and 8 assists. And Atletico de Madrid, legend.
Yeah,
Legend.
And it's not only that. Like I think 2 years ago, sorry, when Man City went for the acquisition of Julian Alvarez.
Yes.
I told you, I thought, in my opinion, that in the long term he would be more importance than Haaland.
That's very bold. Very bold.
And it's not overpriced. 95 million is not overpriced at all, because if you look at the market, he's a unique type of player.
True.
There's no other striker like Julian Alvarez that has the work rate of Julian Alvarez. I mean, he's an Aguero 2.0 in my opinion.
He's very similar.
He's very similar to a young Aguero in my opinion. And it just matches the Cholo Simeone, mentality, that desire, that eagerness to win. It's not only the goals, he presses, he comes back to defend.
I agree.
And for Cholo Simeone, the defense starts in the attack.
And he can play next to a striker, and he can be the main striker too.
Yeah, he can play both roles, and in a game that probably you're going to be parking the bus more, just going for the transitions, Julian Alvarez is the perfect man for the task.
Very well said.
Man, it can be a menace for Real Madrid.
It is. It is.
Yeah, and
38 games, 19 goals, 4 assists in this season for Atletico de Madrid. So people, what do you believe is going to happen here with Real Madrid and Atletico de Madrid? But going with Real Madrid, it's Mbappe scored a hat-trick against Man City.
True.
Mbappe embarrassed Joshko Gvardiol and Erling Haaland. He said to the world, in 2025, I want to be that Ballon d'Or contender. And the truth is, Kylian Mbappe is going to the team that won the Champions League. So anything that's not winning the Champions League, it's worse than last season. And I believe Barca are favorites to win La Liga, and Barca are the team to beat in the Champions League, in my opinion, because they are the only team that I confidently can state will destroy Real Madrid. I'm sorry, A9 Skills that backs Mbappe, this, that, and the other thing.
Okay,
but in
Alex,
Bernabeu 4-0 and 5-2 in the Supercopa.
Yeah.
2 very, very
I know
bad
what
results
you
for
mean.
Real Madrid.
I mean, the problem with Real Madrid now stands at the back, like the center backs.
Asensio is a good solution, though.
It is, but like they were not ready at the beginning of the season for this to happen. You
True.
know what I mean?
I know
they were
what you
not
mean.
expecting to play two youngsters at center back.
And the player that they want, Real Madrid obviously want William Saliba to be the new center back next to Rudiger next season, in my opinion, or even Asensio and Saliba. That's a big young duo center back that I would like to see. So Real Madrid don't rush transfers. Real Madrid just wait for it to happen, and then they make it happen in the right timing. So getting Trent and Saliba next summer is realistic for Real Madrid fans, and it makes them closer to win a Champions League.
Yeah, Alex, but if I were Real Madrid, instead of going for Trent, I would go for Pedro Porro.
Ooh.
He's a
Pedro
Spanish.
Porro could go to Man United. No, you never know.
In my opinion, Pedro Porro is the best right back in the Premier League.
Hey, that's Trent, mate.
For what I think right backs should bring to the game, defensively, Porro is not amazing. I get that, but Trent is not as well.
It's true. It's been improved with Slot.
And Trent, the passing ability of Trent is unmatched. But then again, Porro has more intensity. He crosses the ball really well. He shoots very, very well as well.
It's
I know
very
he
true.
doesn't shoot as well as Trent Alexander-Arnold, as we all know. He's one of the best set piece takers in the game. But still, if I had to choose, I would go for Pedro Porro just for the competitiveness he brings to the team.
Mate.
He knows
He's Spanish too.
He's Spanish. He will feel the team. He will feel the Madrid importance. And he knows it. He was born in Extremadura.
Yes.
Probably, man, he grew up watching Galacticos in
It's
Real
true.
Madrid.
I understand where you're coming from saying
So
that. He could be a Carvajal
can feel
replacement
the club,
long
exactly.
term. So interesting, very interesting, that bold statement. So now, we both see Real Madrid to go through against Atletico de Madrid? I go Real.
In the end, I go Real, yeah.
Real Madrid
But it's going to
with
be a
Kylian
tough
Mbappe.
one.
It's
And I don't
true.
think it's going to be a fixture in both legs with that many goals.
It's going to
I'm
be
gonna
a
go like
fixture
one.
that Mbappe has to be decisive.
I'm going to be like 1-0, maybe 2-1 in both legs, like combined aggregates.
I understand where you're coming from, and Kylian Mbappe, I think this is going to be the game that he once again steps up.
If Real Madrid, sorry to interrupt you,
worries.
but if Real Madrid wants to win this fixture, they have to perform at the Bernabeu because I don't see them.
100%.
I don't see them scoring.
No, Wanda
away.
Metropolitano,
Yeah.
they don't score more than 3 goals,
Yeah,
I believe.
no, not even more than one.
Well,
Man. Not even more than one. I don't believe they will score more than
When
one.
you
at the
have
Wanda Metropolitano.
Rodrigo, Jude, Vini, Mbappe, anything can happen in the
But on the
beautiful
other
game.
side, you have you have Oblak, man.
But
Atletico
mentioning-
Madrid legends. It's
But
a wall. The
mentioning
guy's a wall.
anything can happen. It's PSV Arsenal because Arsenal lost to West Ham and their unbeaten streak in the Premier League that Arsenal fans were going to say, give us Real Madrid, all confident, this, that, and the other thing. Arsenal is the team that barely went through against Porto last season. I wouldn't be hyped and very confident if I was an Arsenal fan in the Champions League, especially when you don't even have a player in the Premier League with more than 10 goals scored. Havertz is the top goal scorer in the Premier League of Arsenal with 9 goals. Then it's Martinelli with 6 goals, Saka with 5, Merino with 4, Trossard with 4, and Ethan Nwaneri with 3 goals next to Gabriel Magalhaes. The issue is here. They need a goal scorer. And this has been, 2 years that we're saying this?
Yeah, Alex. I mean, how can Arteta believe he's going to be a Premier League contender
Yeah.
when he doesn't have a striker that puts in the goals? It's amazing.
And then you see Haaland with Man City.
I
see
challenge
Salah,
you.
goal scorer
I
with
challenge you.
Liverpool.
Tell me one team that won the Premier League who had a goal scorer that had less than 15 goals.
Even when
Tell me
Leicester
one.
wins it,
Tell me
it's
one.
with Jamie Vardy going bold too.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
insane,
And
this
Vardy
logic.
that year scored like 26 goals in the Prem, I think. I
It's
believe.
true. It's true.
So, I mean, tell me one team that had a goal scorer with winning the Premier League that had a goal scorer with under 15 goals.
Completely true.
I don't remember.
And
to be honest.
Arsenal being 8 points behind Liverpool, it's the consequence of poor recruitment of offensive players. Let's not forget that Havertz and Gabriel Jesus both combined cost more than 100 million. And both players, they're not insane players for their national teams. Havertz plays at left back, and Gabriel Jesus is not even mega respected by Brazilian fans in their national team. Endrick is ahead of Gabriel Jesus in the long term.
Yeah, but now they're out for the season, so they're not even gonna be scoring any more goals from now on. So,
It's true.
So their numbers are just gonna end up there. But the thing is, Alex, even if they were fit, as you said, they're not the solution to be the main man up front.
PSV has a chance. PSV has a chance with Johan Bakayoko, with Joey Veerman. I've been watching PSV, and they're not a bad team at all. And I love the group. You can see the unity. And Noah Lang, that is a great player also. I really don't think this is going to be an easy fixture, even though,
Noah Lang
obviously...
played for Bruges.
Exactly. Even though obviously, this is the easiest fixture that Arsenal could have gotten, right? PSV or Club Brugge, in my opinion, even though they're surprises to be at this stage. So, yes, it's so obvious. And tell us, do you agree with what we're saying? I had it for the end saved, a start bench sell for a striker goal scorer, but I think it makes sense to mention here because Arsenal, it's so obvious that you need a striker, and the three main players that are being talked to be the next Arsenal striker are these players. So let's do a start bench sell with them, with Alexander Isak, Benjamin Sesko, and Viktor Gyökeres. Who would be the priority of Arsenal in a start bench sell for these three players?
I think my priority would be different than the ones from Arsenal. I would start Viktor Gyökeres.
Yes.
I would bench Isaac and I would sell Benjamin Sesko. But
all three would add value.
I believe that Arsenal should go for Benjamin Sesko.
Because he's the cheapest option of the three.
He's the cheapest. I think price versus quality is the best option they can have right now. I don't believe Gyökeres is going to go to Arsenal after what they did to him this year. Just mocking him. I don't believe the fit would be really good, to be fair. And I don't see Newcastle giving up Isaac. I don't see Newcastle giving up Isaac, especially when they're really rich. They're very stable, as you know, and they're trying to be competitive. They're trying to step up their game, try to be closer to the top four every year. And having Alexander Isak is one step closer of doing that consistently.
And Bruno Guimarães, Gordon, the recruitment.
I wouldn't see Newcastle selling Isaac for under 100 mil.
I think Isaac will go to the team that we're going to mention now, Pedro, in the near future. At least I hope, because Alexander Isak, for me, is the best replacement possible for Lewandowski at Barcelona.
Newcastle's going to try to make a reference out of him.
But I think for Newcastle, it's a statement not to sell to another Premier League club and to sell to a Barcelona instead. It would be good, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, and Alexander Isak to replace this Lewandowski. Now that I know he's going insanely good, but
why should they let go of Lewandowski?
Next season, age hits people, Pedro.
Yeah, but the game style,
but he's got
the game level goals. And the game levels that Lewandowski shows, I think that he can still put in a few more good years. You know what I mean?
He's got 32 goals scored this season next to Rafinha and Lamine Yamal, one of the best strikers in football currently. Completely agree with what you're saying. So Barca against Benfica. Wow, what are we expecting here, Pedro? Being Portuguese, right? We see Benfica on a weekly basis.
Benfica has done the best winter transfer market in the last vast years of the history of the club.
Bruma, Samuel Dal, Belotti, Manu Silva.
And I rate Samuel Dal a lot. And as we were talking about before, I know that Benfica could place both Dal and Carreras on the left wing.
Facts.
Carreras as a left back and Dal as a winger, or the other way around, to manage the menace that will be both Rafinha and Yamal on the wings. Especially Yamal, because probably he's going to be playing on the right wing.
Yeah.
And that's the way that Benfica can contain the menace, the attacking menace of Barcelona. But then again, as I was saying, Benfica with this transfer window managed to do with a thing that all the clubs should do, which is they managed to build a starting 11 for the Champions League and a starting 11 for the Primeira Liga.
Exatamente.
And that's why I believe Benfica really stands a chance against Barcelona, because Benfica players will be fresher, will be fitter. Barcelona is putting in all the chips in La Liga as well. They are fighting for the title. They cannot afford to lose any more points. So they'll be, playing the same 11 in both Champions League and La Liga. And Benfica will get in with high pressure, fresh players, fresh legs to contain the attacking menace of Barcelona.
I like what you're saying because, yes, if you do not know Alvaro Carreras had a masterclass against Atletico de Madrid and against Barcelona in Estádio da Luz in this Champions League edition. And he's one of the best young left-backs in football currently. So playing Samuel Dal and Carreras against Barcelona, I could also see it happen because it's a defensive guarantee, and offensively both players can have assists too. But they have to contain Lamine Yamal, that I have high doubts if Carreras can do a game as good as he did last time in Estádio da Luz, because Lamine Yamal, for club and country at the age of 17, one of the best players in the world, top 5 in the Ballon d'Or in my opinion. He has 50 goal involvements with 21 goals and 29 assists at the age of 17. It's just insane, and Lamine inspires the La Masia players, Fermin Lopez, Cubarsí, Balde, to be better players, and having 11 goals and 13 assists this season, he's not stopping. And in the Euros, we remember France of Mbappe was a victim. Jude Bellingham's England was a victim. Toni Kroos's Germany was a victim. All Real Madrid stars, and I can see the aim, and it could happen. The final of the Champions League being Barca against Real Madrid, but I'm going really ahead of myself.
Man, that would be historic.
So I think Barca is going to go through against
But
Benfica.
Yamal won't have it easy, man. But Yamal won't have it easy because we have Carreras, who always performs against Spanish teams, and he knows Barcelona really well. He grew up watching Barcelona.
It's a statement for him if he has a big game.
Yeah, and he has the reverence, the ball control, the speed, and then we have Dahl, as we were talking as well. A lot of work ethic, Swedish player, very high work rate, very disciplined. So it will be very hard for Yamal to work on that right wing or Benfica's left wing
Yes.
to manage to score. But still, I'm gonna go Barcelona. But I believe Benfica has around 40%
And
chances.
Barca against Dortmund, I also think Barca is going to beat Dortmund. And I'm saying, yes, that Dortmund is going to beat Lille, even though Lille has some interesting names. Eden Zargova, Jonathan David, that is in his last year of contract. Okay, teams like Man United.
Yeah, we're talking about a team that beat Real Madrid in the league phase.
Exactly. Borussia Dortmund. So, Lille. And Atletico de Madrid also.
Yeah.
They also beat them.
Yeah, they were top 8. I think they were like 8th or 6th. I don't
So
know.
a very good team, Lille, but I'm going to go with Borussia Dortmund passing. In this game that we have players like Brandt, Guirassy, one of the top goal scorers, and I liked a lot the signing of Daniel Svensson from Nordsjælland that was also being talked to go to Benfica, but he ended at Dortmund. Very good player.
Yeah, Alex, and when you talk about Dortmund, of course their offensive threat. They're not doing great in Bundesliga, but they have a lot of offensive threat.
Bino Jitsins.
Guirassy probably is one of the best informed strikers in the world.
In the Champions League, yes, definitely.
You have Adeyemi, of course.
Very good player.
Baller.
Julian Brandt.
Gittens as well is also a menace. I think their front three is very good. And then back at the defense, the experience of Emre Can, who is used to playing in the Champions League. True leader. Schotterbeck as well. Kobel in goal has been performing amazingly. So, and Dortmund, let's not forget, Dortmund is the current Champions League finalist.
It's true.
So they want to put in a statement. Niko Kovac, going into the job now, he wants to make a statement like, we are capable of going all the way. You know
But
what
getting
I mean?
to the quarterfinals, for me, it's already a good statement. A good enough statement when you get
but they have to stack in their chips in the Champions League, since they're not gonna go to the Champions League via Bundesliga for sure.
It's
so
true.
The only chance they have Champions League football next year is go all the way.
But they won't go.
I know, but there's a chance, right?
But interesting.
They have the team for it.
It's an interesting talk, and I think the Dortmund fans that are listening to us will be very hyped with what you're saying, because yes, they have offensive threats and they have good players at the back too, like you said, Can and Schlotterbeck.
And even the midfield is they have very I really rate Pascal Gross. I mean, he was very good at Brighton. He was an underrated player in the Premier League, very competent.
Good assist.
It's very rare to see him miss a pass or whatever. Good set piece taker as well. I mean, I like this Dortmund team, but then again, let's see what Niko Kovac brings.
And I think then when they get Barca, it's time to go home.
Man, you're really putting in all our chips on Barca. I wouldn't be so confident if.
And I'm gonna put all my chips in Leverkusen against Bayern Munich, Pedro. It's bold, I know, but Bayern Munich has not been convincing me this season. Even though Harry Kane's gonna win a title with the Bundesliga.
We never know, Alex. We never know.
But because Leverkusen, when it's clutch time, they kick in. But the truth is also Xabi Alonso never lost to this Bayern Munich team in all the games he faced them. 3 wins, 2 draws, and the best player in the Bundesliga is not Harry Kane. It's Florian Wirtz that this season has 15 goals and 12 assists, when last season he had 10 goals and 14 assists, unbeaten to win the Bundesliga. Never happened. And also a stat, because yes, Bayer Leverkusen went bold last season, but this season they're also going bold even though they're not first in the Bundesliga. They are in an unbeaten run of away fixtures in the Bundesliga, 28 games. They've broken the record with Xabi Alonso once again with an elite statistic. So seeing this team, the best player in the Bundesliga in this team, the confidence that they have, Patrick Schick even stated, the team that we wanted to face is Bayern Munich. I'm going to go with Bayer Leverkusen against Bayern Munich. It's very bold, but I'm going to back Leverkusen.
It's a 50-50 fixture, but Bayern didn't have it easy with Celtic. So I'm not very confident in this Vincent Kompany's team as well.
Yeah.
I mean...
Olise's been a good signing, but you
know...
Yeah,
and Bayer Leverkusen, as you said, Xabi Alonso did what Ruben Amorim was doing at Sporting this year, which is he kept their starting 11.
Exactly.
Which is the best way if you have a winning team, you don't move it. It's not like buying a 100 mil player or a 60 mil player. It's keeping the ones you have. That's what true champions are made of.
It's
not
true.
always coming with new players and everything. If you keep the bases, the probability of things going well is very high. And
Grimaldo didn't leave. Frimpong didn't leave. Wirtz didn't
and
leave.
I know that
Xhaka.
this Bayern team doesn't have many new players. Most of them were already there last season. But it's a new manager, and they're building up on Vincent Kompany's ideas, whilst Bayer Leverkusen has already their own ideas settled with Xabi Alonso.
And Kimmich has been elite this season, overlooked a lot, but he's the top in chances created in the Bundesliga. And Jamal Musiala extended his contract, big boy contract that is deserved, and he's got 15 goals, 5 assists this season. Harry Kane, 29 goals, 10 assists this season. Obviously, Bayern Munich, with these types of players, they're contenders, but Xabi Alonso has shown to the world and to the German fans, when I face Bayern Munich, I have the upper hand. So that's why I'm going to be leaning to Bayer Leverkusen. Even though, too, another interesting thing, it's the present and future of Germany is in the Leverkusen-Bayern Munich game. Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz, the biggest stars of this German national team. Pavlovic, also a great name, center mid that is putting Jean Pauligne on the bench. So, yeah, it's a very interesting draw. So I'm going to go with Leverkusen. You go?
I'm going to go Leverkusen as well.
I convinced you.
Yeah, no, I mean, the bases are more important. And of course, individually, you were speaking about Florian Wirtz.
Yes.
I still believe that Bayern has the best individuals.
But
like,
collective, Leverkusen.
But collective, the Xavi Alonso play style. And it's interesting because even the last match against Bayern,
Yes.
You can see that Xabi Alonso doesn't abdicate from his principles,
Very true.
but he can change and he can mold according to the opponent.
And Hincapié has been so good, Pedro. And he's, as you're saying, the idea of Xabi Alonso with these players, the majority, staying another season with him, it's being shown it's a good decision. True. So interesting. Tell us if you agree or disagree. And Feyenoord, Inter de Milan. Feyenoord to get to this point, beating AC Milan. Kudos to them when they sell their best player, Santiago Gimenez. That was an interesting matchup. But yes, Inter de Milan, once again, I think they have it easy, right?
I wouldn't be so sure, Alex. I've been surprised with both Belgian and Dutch teams this year. They've been really competitive, which astonishes me, given that they don't have the, let's say, purchasing power that for example, the Italian giants have. Yeah, but we've seen probably, arguably, the best AC Milan team in the past being beaten by Feyenoord. And in the last 5 years, in my opinion, this is the best AC Milan team, individually speaking.
Because they did win a Scudetto in the last 4 years with Rafael.
Yeah, but individually speaking, man, their attack is crazy. And Feyenoord managed to do it while they had 10 players out by injury, man.
True.
How is that even possible? 10, almost, most of them were starters.
You're a Sporting fan. You know that's possible.
no, because Sporting lost.
Yes.
I mean, I was really amazed and surprised, of course. That that red card showed to Hernandez didn't help a lot, and it was a bit silly.
Yes.
And compromised AC Milan's aspirations. But yeah, I don't see Feyenoord doing it again, especially with so many injured players. Inter is being so competitive this year, fighting for the Scudetto.
And they know how to win in the Champions League.
Yeah, and they want to be back in the Champions League final after 2 years.
The only Italian team in the Champions League.
And that's
what they do.
I mean, that's just another. They feel the weight and the responsibility to carry the Italian coefficient upwards.
Very interesting. Very interesting. If you're here until now, smash that like button. It's a huge help for us here at FC Wonderkid. So let's just do these predictions fast, Pedro. PSG, Liverpool, PSG. Club Brugge at Aston Villa. Then Real Madrid, Atletico de Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Then PSV, Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Then Real Madrid, Arsenal. What happens?
I go Real Madrid.
And then PSG, Aston Villa.
I go PSG. I go PSG all the way, man.
PSG goes to the final.
Yeah,
ahead of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be an El Clasico final maybe in the Champions League between Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Man, PSG's just been putting up the levels.
I love what you're mentioning. This is very interesting. And on the other side, you think who's going to the final? Just saying it, long story short. So Barca against Benfica, Barca. Dortmund against Lille.
Dortmund.
Then we have Bayern against Leverkusen.
Leverkusen, yeah.
Then we go Feyenoord, Inter. Then Inter, Leverkusen. Barca, Dortmund.
Barca,
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen.
Mate, for Xabi Alonso, if he beats Barca in the semi-final,
believe Leverkusen
that
has a
shows to
chance.
the world, I'm the Real
Man, he said it
Madrid next
himself.
manager.
They have the best German player at the moment in their
You said
squad.
Leverkusen to beat Barca. That's
Yeah.
really bold.
Yeah,
That's so
I believe
bold.
they can do it, man.
Oh,
As I said, they kept their players, man. Their wingers are astonishing.
Insane.
Foreign Wirtz
Mate,
is
a
just putting in
PSG
crazy levels.
Leverkusen final, you reckon it's going to be? Very,
Yeah.
very
It's a
interesting.
bold statement, but I think it can happen, man.
It's bold, so you have to go bold in the comment
even
section
because
on YouTube.
I believe Xabi Alonso doesn't trust that Bayer Leverkusen is gonna be
Fantastic.
winning the Bundesliga this year, so I believe they're gonna stack
Fantastic.
all their chips in the
I'll
Champions League.
say Barca, you say PSG, you say what's in the YouTube comment section. Thank you for listening until now.